Good morn, yin, everyone. Today we will be focusing on one breathing exercise. That way you can fully learn it and incorporate it into your daily life. And then we will also do some yin postures that will help open up your back and open up your hips. I will also be teaching you how to stand properly. Okay, well, let's begin. Let's imagine ourselves getting out of bed. The first thing you want to do is roll over and pop into a little table pose. A table pose. You want to stack your shoulders over your elbows and your elbows over your wrists. You want to keep a micro bend in the elbows and your index fingers pointed directly forward, parallel with each other. And keep your hand fingers spread. Knees should be at hip width distance, and you should keep a straight back with a long line of energy from your tailbone through the crown of your head, creating a strong base. Next, you want to inhale and bring your gaze forward while dropping your belly. This is a cow pose. From here, exhale through your nose. Into an angry cat with a rounded back. Inhale to a cow, shoulders drawing away from the ears. Exhale to an angry cat with your gaze shifting towards your navel and your navel pressing up against your spine. After you do a set of cat cows, open up your hips and your knees to hip width distance, and we're going to go into a child's pose. This is the resting posture when you're in an intense vinyasa flow, but it also serves when you're waking up to open you up, get some length in the spine. Always draw those shoulders away from the ears. So if you notice, I am stretching, yet I am still keeping that distance from my shoulders to my ears. After you do your happy baby, you return to a table pose. You roll your toes, bring your hands slightly forward, and raise your hips up and back to a downward facing dog. In the downward facing dog, remember to keep the micro bend in the elbows, drive the heels towards the earth, but more importantly, keep length in the spine. Bend your knees if need be, and imagine your waist being pulled up with a harness from the sky. Slowly inch your hands back to meet your toes. Round your spine, bend your knees, and slowly, vertebra by vertebra, articulate all the way back to the top. Roll the shoulders back. Shift your gaze forward and begin to step forward very slowly, feeling everything, every step, every drip of sweat, everything coming across your body, every tingle, every itch. Resist. And as you reach the front of the mat, you have the option to either stand with your toes together and your heels about 3 inches apart, or you can stand with your feet at hip width distance, with the outside heel pointed slightly out, slightly pigeon-toed. We will now engage in a mountain pose, and this is essentially the anatomical standing posture. To begin with, your feet should be rooted down as you rise your head up. You should be rooting down on the 4 corners of your feet. Toes should be loose and limber. Activate the calf muscles, the anterior tibialis. Micro bend in the knees. Activate the hamstrings, the thighs, the glutes. Tuck your tailbone in. Bring your navel towards your spine. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Palms facing forward, and imagine your arms being pulled down by two heavy buckets of water. Chin parallel to the earth, gaze forward. Mountain pose. But it is not yet complete, because we need to dial in our 3-part breath. So right now you're standing properly, fully balanced, grounded, yet rising. There's always a yin to the yang. So as you ground down your roots and create balance in the earth, you're also reaching your crown towards the sky. For the 3-part breath, it's belly, ribs, chest. So and it's all through the nose. Take a deep exhale, sucking your navel towards your spine, getting it all out. And then through the nose, inhaling and filling up the belly through the nose. Then inhale, fill up the ribs. And finally the chest. Maintaining the mountain pose. Pause at the top of the inhale. Exhale through the nose. Pause. Inhale, fill up the belly, then the ribs, then the chest in one fluid motion. Pause at the top of the inhale. Exhale through the nose. You can focus your sights in between your eyebrows. Look for that third eye, also referred to as drishti, as you fill up your belly, your ribs, and your chest in what is referred to as three-part breath. Really tune into your body and listen to what your legs are saying. Just standing here, I'm breaking a sweat, properly breathing and bringing a new energy and new oxygen into my body as I stand properly in a mountain pose. Strong, yet light. I will shift towards the camera so you can get another angle of the mountain pose. When you're exhaling, focus on bringing that navel towards your spine and up. And then on your inhale, really fill up that belly and create space in the ribs and the chest. And then you compress it all out on the exhale. The three-part breath can promote digestion as well as give you energy. And it increases the flow of energy and oxygen through your body, also referred to as pranayama. A few more breaths. And hold it at the top of the inhale. And let the energy flow before you exhale. Widen your stance. Point your toes slightly outward. Should be done at the front of your mat, so you're already at the front of your mat. Bring your feet to mat width distance. Point the toes slightly out. Bring your hands to heart center. Bend your knees, pointing your knees towards your second toe. And bring your elbows inside of your knees, pressing your knees out with your elbows while simultaneously pushing the elbows in with your knees. Place your hands on the floor and slowly roll onto your back. Now we will do some yin postures to open up your back as well as open up your hips. These will be really passive, but throughout the sequence, I want you to focus on the 3-part breath we just learned. So filling up the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. Pausing, and then exhaling it out while sucking the navel up towards the spine. Eliminating all the toxins, all the negative energy, and then breathing in the positivity, the love. Now that you're on your back, I want you to extend your legs and return to a mountain pose, but laying down. Palms facing towards the sky. And then bring your knees towards your chest. Interlace your fingers and hug your knees in. Bringing your head up and kissing your knees. Giving your lower body some love. Now grab the tops of your knees and do some wide ranging circles. Moving that hip socket around, creating some lubrication, increasing your flexibility, and having the blood flow. Reverse the circles. Release one leg, your left leg. Grab your right knee and hug it towards your chest. See how that feels. See if your body is trying to tell you anything. Is there any discomfort? Do you have any sharp pains? These are things that you have to look out for. Release the right leg. Bend the right knee towards your chest. Interlace your fingers and hug the left knee towards your body. How does that feel in your hip? Release the left knee. Extend out for a full body stretch. Arms raised above your head with your shoulders drawing down away from your ears. Feet flexed. Legs active. Butt active. Tailbone tucked forward. as if to press the lower back on the mat. And do a circle with your arms all the way back to your side. Bend your knees and stack your feet underneath your knees. Extend the left leg and fold it over your left knee. Now grab your left ankle with your right hand and your right ankle with your left hand and pull back, grounding the shoulders and also keeping the tailbone grounded. How does that feel in your hip? There should be a stretch in your left hip. Don't forget to breathe, dialing in that 3-part breath. Deep inhales paired with deep exhales. And on your exhale, sink further into your stretch. Not forcefully, just naturally melt into your exhale as you fall deeper into your stretch. Bring your right foot back down to the mat. Shift your hips over to the left side of your mat. And let your knees and legs fall over to the left side. Keeping your shoulders grounded, especially the left one. Return to center. Unhook the left knee. Extend the right knee. And hook it over your left. With your left hand, grab your right ankle. With your right hand, grab your left ankle. Bring the shoulder blades back to the earth, keeping the tailbone grounded. And you should feel a stretch in your right hip. Dial in that 3-part breath again. Release the grip. Lower your feet. Your left foot to the mat. Shift your hips to the right side. Keeping your right shoulder down. Let your legs and knees fall to the left side. Again, this should be very passive and flowy. Breathing, allowing yourself to melt into this posture. Thinking about nothing else but the stretch. And focusing in on the breath. Turn to the center. Shift your hips back to the center of the mat. Bring your knees towards your chest. Place your elbows inside of your knees and grasp the outside edges of your foot. Keeping the tailbone grounded, bring your shoulder blades back to the earth. And pull on your feet as you push into your hands with your feet. That yin to the yang. Notice as you push, you begin to feel more of a stretch in your hamstrings. Slowly rock side to side and massage your lower back. Release your feet. Give your knees a hug. And place your feet back down on the earth. Knees stacked over the feet. Extend your left leg and fold it over the right one. Shift your hips to the left side of your mat and let that left foot fall to the earth along with the whole right leg. Grab your left ankle with your right hand and push this left leg away and shift your gaze over to the left side. And again, while in the pose, focus on the breathing. Release the left ankle. Bring your hips back to the center and reach through the window we've created as a figure four. Interlace your fingers. Place your left elbow on your left thigh, creating like a wedge that pushes the leg apart, and then pull back, grounding the shoulders for an inverted pigeon. This is a good option if you have knee pains or sometimes lower back pain can not allow you to do a pigeon or a lizard. This is a good alternative and a passive alternative. Turn your foot back down to the center. Unhook your knee. Place it on the earth. Give your knees a hug. Now extend the right leg. Fold it over your left with your ankle being on your thigh. Shift the hips over to the right side of your mat. And allow the right foot to fall, grabbing it with your left hand. And then force your leg away from your torso. Shift your gaze over to your right shoulder. Dial back in the breath. All these postures should be very passive and just deep breaths, allowing the pranayama to flow. Really feel what's going on in that right hip during this stretch. Return to center. Bring your hips back underneath you in the middle of the mat. And reach through and grab your left hamstring. Interlace your fingers. Push that right leg out with your right elbow and pull back for an inverted pigeon. Don't forget to breathe, folks. Deep breath filling up the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And an equally deep exhale, releasing all the toxins, negativity, and bad thoughts. Return your feet to center. Place the knees down. And we're going to repeat another happy baby. Bringing the elbows in between the knees, grasping the outside edges of your feet. Just rocking side to side as we pull on our feet with our hands and push into our hands with our feet. Keeping that tailbone grounded. And just imagine a happy baby, because that's what you are. Every day when you get out of bed, you have a chance to grow and approach things with a learning mind, just as a baby does. Release the grasp. And hug your knees. Rounding your head and bringing your head towards your knees. Release and go for a big, wide open stretch. Shoulders away from the ears. Hands above head. Active hands, active arms, forearms, biceps, triceps, shoulders. Bring hands to heart center. And for this next portion, you will need to find a strap, as we're going to take the hip openings a little further. So when you're on your back, bend one knee and place the strap on the ball of your foot. Avoid cranking on this area. You want to feel the light stretch. It's not going to happen overnight, but with a solid and consistent practice, this will become very easy. And when it gets easy, push harder. Extend that left leg, and you should start feeling a bit more of a stretch. Three-part breath. Begin opening up that hip, that right hip to the right side. And allow yourself to breathe in this posture. Bring it back across. And now hold it at a 45-degree angle from the ground across your body. And finally, let it fall across for a twist, keeping your shoulders grounded. Breathe in through your belly, then ribs, then chest. Back up to the center. Bend your knee. Release the right leg. Place the strap on the ball of your left foot. Extend the right leg, creating a scissor effect. Micro bend in both knees. And try to really activate the right leg and make it part of the stretch to build the base and keep that right foot flexed. Start to open up that left hip and bring the left leg over to the left side. Keeping the shoulders grounded, and that right hip grounded as well. There's a lot of stress stored in these hips. So when you're able to get some good stretching in on your hips, you'll notice that your energy will begin to flow a lot smoother and fluid. Now bring the leg over 45 degrees from the earth. Keeping that left shoulder grounded. Let it go all the way over for a spinal twist. Most importantly, keeping the left shoulder grounded. Turn to center slowly. And release the hips. Make your way back up into a Sukhasana position, which is a cross-legged seated fold. And we will tap back into our 3-part breath. Now, these are just a set of exercises and stretches in a sequence that you can do in the morning, getting out of bed. It's very passive, doesn't require hard effort, but it does require proper breathing and the right mindset. A calm mindset that allows you to exhale into your stretches, into your hips. Place your hands in front of your shins and start to inch your hands forward until your palms are flat on the earth. Bring your right hand over your left. Back to center. And your left hand over your right. Back to center. Now alternate legs. Bring in your left shin in front of your right one. Hands in front of you and walk them forward, keeping your palms flat on the earth. Left hand over right. Back to center. Right hand over left. Back to center. Slowly make your way back to Sukhasana position. Place your hands on your knees. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. Lengthen the spine. Allow your knees to fall towards the earth. And reach the crown of your head towards the sky. We'll take a deep inhale and end the practice with a collective Om from wherever you may be. Now a deep inhale, filling up the belly and the ribs and the chest. Namaste, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful day.